Hey there, Mary Sheila here, BioYouth Labs. And I often get asked if coffee's bad for you and caffeine, is it toxic? And um, I would have to say no, and it's different for everybody and how it works in your body and how you feel with it and how you feel when you're not drinking or caffeine or anything like that. But when it comes to blood pressure, we do want to be mindful of the quantity that we are partaking in, particularly because caffeine can increase blood pressure by causing the blood vessels to narrow and the heart to beat faster. And this effect can be especially pronounced in people who already have high blood pressure. So while the effect of caffeine on blood pressure varies from person to person, it's generally recommended that people with high blood pressure limit their caffeine intake. Drinking too much caffeine can also cause dehydration, which can further raise blood pressure. So, for these reasons, it's a good idea to talk to your doctor about how much caffeine is safe for you to consume if you have high blood pressure. So, what I recommend personally, and what feels like it really works for me, is that when you get up in the morning, hydrate with water or maybe some herbal tea or a combination of both. But get that hydration going. If you can make it warm or hot, that's even better. Then have some breakfast with protein. Build a buffer and then have your caffeine. And then stop your caffeine and then, you know, have more hydration before your next meal. But ultimately, if you build that buffer, you're going to have less cortisol rise, less of an effect from that caffeine, and you're probably going to feel a lot better. Okay, so hydrate first, protein, and then caffeine. I'll tell you a funny little story. I recently interviewed one of my friends who's a midwife, and she was sharing a little bit about this. But just to put it in perspective, she works with women who are pregnant, who are growing a baby and want to have the healthiest pregnancy and birth and baby that they can have, right? So that's when we're like, okay, I'm going to do all the things right. I want to eat right. I'm not drinking alcohol. I want to limit my caffeine, blah, blah, blah. So she always tells them, if you're going to have your caffeine, I want you to have your protein first and then your drugs. We don't really think of caffeine as a drug, but I mean, it is a stimulant and it stimulates the cardiovascular system and it can raise our blood pressure. So if we're gonna do it, we want to do it safely for the body. And if you are the kind of person that's drinking coffee like or caffeine or tea all day long, you might want to look at that because it's very dehydrating. It's not supporting the cardiovascular system as well as you might think it is. And so you want to just create that balance in the body. So hydrate, protein, and then your caffeine. Okay? I hope that makes sense and give it a try. Even my husband has really made that switch and feels so much better. He works in the trades, so he's very physical during the day, and he just can't believe how much better he feels having his breakfast first, followed by his caffeine. And then the nice thing is now in the morning, we're enjoying some really wonderful herbal teas together. So give it a shot. Let me know how it goes. Thanks for being a part of the community, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.